Soludo says no pause in efforts to enhance quality of life of Anambra. Youths urged to embrace smart work ethics. Locals repel new attack from bandits in Kwara State. Ukraine-Russia war. Zelensky to visit U.S. as diplomatic attempt to end the war continues. Security is here to stay in Anambra State. In the Anambra, remember, security is everyone's business. And for us to have a more secure and livable Anambra State, let us join forces with the government in securing our state. If you see something, say something. Report unscrupulous elements to the security operatives for better security of lives and property. Remember the emergency numbers 5111 and 0800-2200-008. Good morning and welcome to the news. My name is Nonya Nwokoye. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has officially presented the 2026 fiscal year budget of 754,884,487,705 naira to the State House of Assembly. The budget themed Changing Gears 3.0 solution continues, outlines a comprehensive plan aimed at boosting economic activities, enhancing infrastructure, and improving social services across the state. A Government House correspondent, Ejike Abana, filed this report.
When compared to the 2025 budget of 606 billion naira, this represents a 24.87% increase, reflecting the intensified focus on execution. Recurrent expenditure is projected at 162.6 billion naira, representing a 15.9% year-on-year growth, while capital expenditure stands at 595 billion naira, a 26.1% growth relative to 2025. Governor Soludo emphasized the government's commitment to continuing the progress made in recent years by prioritizing investments in critical sectors such as agriculture, education, health, and infrastructure. The governor stressed that the 2026 budget is designed to accelerate Anambra transformation into an economic powerhouse, focusing on creating jobs, supporting small and medium enterprises, and improving public infrastructure to ensure every citizen benefits from the collective prosperity. While commending the 8th Assembly for being dependable partners in progress, the governor also assured that the 2026 budget would be executed with transparency and accountability, promising regular updates to the public and engagement with stakeholders to track progress.
What lies before you today is not just a booklet of numbers, it is a blueprint of solution. A framework for disciplined growth and a strategic response to our economic realities. The 2026 budget size stands at approximately, in dollar terms, about $520 million US. Modest. Our mantra remains doing more with less. We have cut the cost of governance to the bare bones, prioritizing value over volume. In the Anambra, we must all join hands. The future we seek cannot be funded by wishful thinking.
Earlier, the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Somtochukwu Udeze, commended the 2025 budget's transformations focus on inclusive growth and pledged their continued support for swift legislative approval to ensure early implementation for the 2026 budget.
Governor Chukwuma Soludo has passed a clear message that there will be no pause in efforts to enhance infrastructure and improve the quality of life for Anambra. The governor stated this when he undertook an extensive inspection of several critical development projects across the state. The governor emphasized the administration's unwavering dedication to delivering on its development agenda without delay, reinforcing a strong work ethic focused on continuous progress, pointing out that the tours underscore his administration's commitment to advancing infrastructural development and enhancing public facilities. He passed a clear message that there will be no pause in efforts to enhance infrastructure and improve the quality of life for Anambra. The Anambra State government has reaffirmed its commitment to continued collaboration with Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, in advancing the state's vision for the education sector. Governor Chukwuma Soludo made this known while hosting the 7th substantive Vice-Chancellor of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, UNIZIK, Professor Bond Anyehi, at the Governor's Lodge, over the weekend. He added that after reviewing the Vice-Chancellor's impressive curriculum vitae, he had no doubt that Anyehi is the right person to lead the university to greater heights. Welcoming Professor Anyehi to Anambra State, the governor urged individuals aspiring to public service to emulate the transparency and integrity demonstrated in his appointment as UNIZIK's 7th substantive Vice-Chancellor. Away now from state stories, a report says bandits in a fresh attack on Isakba community in Ekiti local government area of Kwara State yesterday tried to abduct locals but was successfully rebuffed by the vigilante members who were on standby. Newsmen gathered that there was intense exchange of gunshots between the bandits and the local vigilantes. The community reportedly sent Save Our Souls to the state government, which immediately directed soldiers in Eruku to their rescue. It was also gathered that there was no casualty on the part of the vigilantes because the bullets couldn't penetrate while the bandits were repelled at press time. Isakba is about 5 kilometers from Eruku, where 3 persons were killed and 38 congregation kidnapped inside a church last week, Tuesday, though they have been reportedly released. On the foreign scene, the report says Ukraine's security agency is hoping to arrange for President Volodymyr Zelensky's visit to the U.S. at the earliest suitable date this month as diplomatic attempts to end the war continue. Meanwhile, the U.S. has confirmed its officials are set to meet Russian representatives in Abu Dhabi as part of efforts to end the Ukraine war. According to the report, overnight, Russia and Ukraine traded air attacks. Officials in Kyiv said at least 6 people had been killed in Russian strikes on the city, while Russian officials said at least 3 had been killed in a Ukrainian strike in Rostov region. The latest diplomatic moves come after Ukrainian President Zelensky welcomed proposed changes to the controversial 28-point U.S. peace plan. On Sunday, U.S. and Ukraine officials met in Geneva to discuss the draft plan, which had been criticized by leaders in Kyiv and Europe as too favorable to Russia. On sports news today, the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, has started moves to galvanize Super Eagles players ahead of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, which begins next month in Morocco. An NFF official told newsmen that the federation recognized the disappointment felt by the players following their inability to qualify for the 2026 World Cup and has therefore begun moves to get them to shift attention to the Nations Cup, which would be a fitting consolatory gift to their supporters. He said that the NFF president, Ibrahim Gusau, has been in Europe to see some of the players ahead of the release of the list for the Nations Cup later this week. The Super Eagles are together with Tunisia, Uganda, and Tanzania in Group C of the Africa Cup of Nations, scheduled to be held from December 21, 2025 to January 18, 2026. Nigeria will begin their campaign with a game against Tanzania on December 23, 2025 at the Complex Sportive de Fez, while Tunisia will face Uganda and Stade Annex of Prince Moulay in Rabat the same day. We wish them well, and that's just about it on the news. Now remember, you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world via our website at www.absradiotelevision.com. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at ABS Radio Television. Follow us on our social media handles at ABS Radio Television, on Facebook at ABS Radio TV, and on Instagram and X. And here are the main points of the news once again. Soludo has said there is no pause in efforts to enhance quality of life of Anambra. Youth have been urged to embrace smart work ethics. Locals have repelled new attack from bandits in Kwara State. And from the foreign scene, Ukraine-Russia war, Zelensky is to visit U.S. as diplomatic attempt to end the war continue. Note, security is here to stay in Anambra State. In the Anambra, remember, security is everyone's business, and for us to have a more secure and livable Anambra State, let us join forces with the government in securing our state. If you see something, say something. Report unscrupulous elements to the security operatives for better security of lives and property. Remember the emergency numbers 5111 and 0800-2200-008. And that's the news. We thank you so much for your time. Good morning. My name once again is Nonya Wokoe, and have a beautiful day.